Hi, this is Courtney from the Studios Inc., a nonprofit artist residency program in Kansas City. And in the last couple weeks, we have been making videos that have been geared towards students in engaging artwork that is found at Studios Inc. that was created by mid-career artists. And some of what we're talking about deals a lot with visual literacy. So I wanted to take a moment and really break down visual literacy and what that means. Essentially, visual literacy is the ability to read an image. And when you encounter an image, there are certain things that you can look to in terms of a vocabulary. And those have to do with the elements of art and design. And some of the most basic elements come down to formal qualities such as line, shape and form, space, color, and texture. So let's begin with Emily Sall's work, Everything Connects, that is featured in our exhibition, Studios Inc. 2020, an exhibition that features each of the artists that are currently participating in our residency program. Everything Connects is an installation of 8 rows and 8 columns of 8 by 8 inch acrylic paintings on wood panel. So to start our discussion centered on visual literacy, let's look at the concept of line. When referencing the Paul Getty Museum on the internet, they define line as an identifiable path created by a point moving in space. It is one-dimensional and can vary in width, direction, and length. Lines often define the edges of a form. Lines can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, straight or curved, thick or thin. They lead your eye around the composition and can communicate information through their character and direction. So the J. Paul Getty Museum goes on to describe the character surrounding that line, that point that moves through space. And they begin with horizontal lines, stating that horizontal lines suggest a feeling of rest or repose because objects parallel to the earth are at rest. Vertical lines often communicate a sense of height because they are perpendicular to the earth, extending upwards towards the sky. Horizontal and vertical lines used in combination communicate stability and solidity. Diagonal lines convey a feeling of movement. Objects in a diagonal position are unstable because they are neither vertical nor horizontal. They are either about to fall or are already in motion. The curve of a line can convey energy. Soft, shallow curves recall the curves of the human body and often have a pleasing, sensual quality and a softening effect on the composition. So let's review. When it comes to the horizontal and vertical lines in Emily's piece, when you look at the individual panels, you would struggle to find a horizontal or a vertical line. However, when you see how these works are arranged on the wall, they're arranged in a grid, and that negative space that exists between each panel, that's where you'll see those horizontal and vertical lines. The grid that Sall has used to install the 64 individual pieces works to connect each piece and forms a foundation, which speaks to what the J. Paul Getty's website was saying. When artists use horizontal and vertical lines in combination, it communicates a sense of stability and solidity. If you think about it, a grid is an organizational structure that allows people to lay out and build upon. So it being the foundation for this piece, for all 64 pieces to be united together, does lend credit to what J. Paul Getty's website was saying, in the sense of stability and solidity. Now, when you look at each individual piece, as I said before, you would struggle to find a horizontal or a vertical line painted on panel. Most of the line work in Emily Sall's paintings are diagonal, which lends that sense of energy due to a feeling of movement or instability. Occasionally, you'll find a curved line in the piece Everything Connects, although it is rare and it's a surprise. So what we've learned about the character of line definitely applies to Emily Sall's work, Everything Connects. Beyond discussing the different aspects of line and the qualities it brings to Sall's work, Everything Connects, one could also discuss color. An important thing to note is that Sall does not use organic colors. She uses bright, bold, graphic colors, which also lends a sense of energy and movement to the work. So we've discussed line and we've just barely touched on color, but I think that you see sometimes breaking it down and looking at the formal qualities that are associated with visual literacy, you'll find a lot of source material when you begin writing about artwork. So I am able to say, I like Emily Sall's work. Then if you were to press me, well, why do you like it? And I could say, it makes me feel good. Well, why does it make me feel good? It brings a sense of energy to me. It wakes me up. And then you can talk about why psychologically you as a viewer are having that sense of energy. And that boils down to Emily's use of line and color. So as a student, when you're thinking about writing about work, and maybe you've come up across a roadblock of, I like this work, why, or, whatever opinion you bring to your piece, but when you're starting to walk it back, a good starting point is to identify the formal qualities in a work. What's the thing that stands out? And with Emily's work, the thing that stands out is her use of line and color. To reiterate, when you're writing, start with your opinion, then walk it back by asking questions. Then once you've answered the initial question, ask a question of that answer. Then work to find your supports for why you think and feel a certain way. And you'll find that you are able to write longer than you would have thought. So I hope this helps you in your exercises, writings, and essay work. And I thank you for spending time with me again. I'm glad that you were able to see Emily Sall's work, Everything Connects, from the Studios Inc. 2020 exhibition. I sincerely hope that you're able to visit Studios Inc. soon in person. Until then, please stay healthy and stay safe and be well. Thank you for joining me.